Hello everyone. Today I'll be giving you guys a quick walkthrough of Labelur.com. So Labelur is an online tool that allows you to label your unstructured NLP datasets, primarily used for multitask text classification. So let's say if you want to build a machine learning model that can classify sentiment analysis or different sort of classification tasks, you need a labeled dataset. You need a text, and also you need to have a label that associates in which kind of class or category this text falls under. But if you only have the text, but if you do not have the label, you kind of manually have to go out there and label your dataset and to make that machine learning model. Or you can use Labelur, where essentially you take that CSV file dataset that you have, upload it into Labelur, and in Labelur, in the backend, we use some modern zero-shot techniques and other machine learning techniques to label your dataset for you. So let me give you guys a quick example of how this works. I went out there and I downloaded this very common dataset, which is the news 20 news group dataset. Essentially, this dataset over here, there are all these different texts, and all of these different texts can fall into one of the 20 different classes. So these different classes are politics, science, medicine, electronics, and so on. So for example, the very first example is talking about automotive and so on. But I actually went out there and removed the label associated with all of the dataset, and we will go ahead and upload this data into Labelur and see what sort of label this Labelur will generate for us. And after that, we can take our label dataset and create a machine learning model out of it. So let's get started. This is the front page, and pretty much you can go ahead and click on sign in. Once you click on sign in, it'll allow you to ask you to log in. You can use your Gmail, GitHub, or you just create a user account and sign in. But I've already signed in, so in my case, it just went directly to the user page. So when I'm in the user page, this is the thing that you see. Essentially now, you have to enter two things. First thing is a possible labels separated by comma. Essentially, when you upload your dataset, you kind of have to specify to us that, okay, here's the dataset that I'm uploading, which doesn't have label, but what are the possible labels that it can fall under? For example, if it's a sentiment analysis that you're doing, then the possible label would be positive or negative. In our case, the actual label that we want to do is there are 20 different labels, and these are the labels that it can fall under. Okay, so there's some religion, graphics, hardware, cryptocurrency, electronics, and stuff like that. So we got this. Now after this, we will go ahead and select our dataset. So that's the dataset that I just showed it to you guys earlier, right here. I will go ahead and click on, I will click on it, and now I will go ahead and click on process. Now the thing is, right now for Labelur, there is a premium version and there's also a basic version. There are some limitations with the basic version as to how many dataset we can process at a given time. So if you would like to upgrade, you can just go ahead and click on settings. It will take you to a subscription page and you can enter your credit card information there to get started. But if you're just getting started and you want to see how this works, basic version will be good enough to get started as well. So once you've entered your label and you've entered your CSV file, you can just simply go ahead and click on process. But do make sure that the labels that you're giving has some context associated with the actual main dataset. It cannot just be a random gibberish, for example, like number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way till 19. It actually has to be something that makes sense, that can be mapped to the actual dataset. So now we will just go ahead and click on process. Now when we click on process, this will upload the dataset, and in the backend it will do a bunch of machine learning tasks to figure out what are the possible labels for your dataset. This took relatively short because I've actually downsized the entire dataset for a small chunk just for the demo purpose. But essentially when this labeling process is done, at the bottom you'll see a status page where it will tell you that, okay, the status is set to click here to download, which means that, okay, it has given you an option to download the dataset. So simply go ahead and click on this link over here. And when you click on this link over here, at the bottom, essentially, we've downloaded our new dataset. So let me just open this and show you how it looks like. And it popped over here on my another screen. So this is the dataset that we just downloaded. And as you can see, this was the very first example over here, and this label was missing previously in the previous dataset, but in this one, this is the label that it generated for us, and it told us the very first one over here falls under auto section. So now we have our text, and we also have our label, and we can actually use this to make a machine learning model, sentiment analysis, other sort of classification, whatever it may be. So thank you for watching this quick demo, and I hope you guys have an amazing day.